The Trans-Siberian Railway stands as one of the greatest engineering achievements ever attempted. The idea was so ambitious it once felt almost mythical. Poetically dubbed, the steel artery of Russia, the railway never stops beating. It's more than just a route, it's the culmination of multiple 19th-century railway projects across Imperial Russia. It's a journey into the soul of a nation and a continent, past, present, and future. In this video we'll explore why this railway is a marvel of engineering. Originally built to supply Siberia with raw materials, the railway evolved into a tool of imperial strategy, used to colonize, control, and connect Siberia while projecting Russian influence deep into Asia. Spanning over 9,000 kilometers from Moscow to Vladivostok, it's the longest railway on Earth, and even connects into Mongolia, Korea, and China. With 8 time zones and countless cultures along the way, the journey from end to end takes 7 days. It also links with the broader Eurasian land bridge connecting Europe and Asia. The vision behind the railway was grand. It became not just a route for immigration into Siberia but a driver of economic growth. It opened trade routes and enabled the movement of goods and people across vast distances. At one point, about 30% of Russia's trade relied on the railway system. Before the railway, Siberian towns were scattered and disconnected. As the railway took shape, new towns and road systems emerged. The idea was championed by Emperor Alexander III, who ruled from 1881 to 1894, but construction truly advanced under his prime minister, Sergei Witte. Witte believed that for Russia to extend its power eastward, it had to strengthen its economy by exploiting its vast terrain through trade. Though political motives were strong, economic considerations were vital too. Construction began in 1891 and finished in 1916. Though exact numbers are unknown, estimates suggest between 60,000 and 300,000 people were involved in the 25-year build. Conditions were brutal: freezing winters, starvation, malaria, mountains, and wild animals. A shortage of labor meant prisoners and foreign workers from Japan and China were brought in. Constructing the world's longest railway through some of the harshest environments on Earth wasn't easy. Workers had to build bridges over rivers, carve tunnels through mountains, and lay tracks on frozen ground. Laborers, soldiers, and prisoners endured unimaginable hardship. Rocky terrain required massive cuts through the landscape to make the gradients passable for trains. Budget constraints meant most of the railway was single-tracked, often causing delays. Rushed bridge construction led to low-quality materials and techniques, requiring constant repairs, many of which still happen today, including electrical and track upgrades. In 2024, Russia's transport ministry announced it would invest 1 trillion rubles, roughly 10 billion euros, into the Trans-Siberian and Baikal-Amur lines, with improvements scheduled through 2035. Due to limited knowledge of the local environment, early builders used primitive materials: softwood rail ties, steep grades, lightweight rails, and sharp curves. These flaws damaged locomotives and often turned 2-week trips into 6-week ordeals. Over time, the railway transitioned from steam to diesel and eventually electric systems. Steam engines, common at the time, had limited speed and required constant upkeep. Diesel engines were more efficient and cleaner. In 1929, work began on electrifying the route, completed in 2002. Electrification brought faster trains, heavier loads, better efficiency, and less environmental impact. In the early 20th century, the Trans-Siberian was more than infrastructure. It was a battlefield. Control of the railway meant control of the country during the Russian Revolution and Civil War. It also played a major role in the 1904-1905 Russo-Japanese War. However, its limitations were exposed. The single-track design hampered troop movements. This led to the rapid completion of the Amur Railway, the most complex part of the project. Built between 1907 and 1916, it ran along the Amur River and required the labor of Chinese and Korean workers. During the Siberian Intervention, 1918-1922, both military and civilian use of the railway caused major disruptions. In World War II, the Trans-Siberian proved vital, carrying troops, tanks, and supplies to the front lines. It also served as an escape route for civilians fleeing Nazi persecution. The US even used the line to deliver essential supplies to the USSR after Germany's invasion. The railway highlighted Russia's industrial strength, especially in cities like Novosibirsk, Krasnoyarsk, and Irkutsk, which continue to be key economic hubs. Traveling the Trans-Siberian Railway is more than a journey. It's an encounter with a cultural mosaic. Russians, Tatars, Buryats, Mongols, and others share this vast land. East meets west across a line of tracks. Key cities like Moscow, Yekaterinburg, Novosibirsk, Irkutsk, Ulan-Ude, and Vladivostok each offer unique experiences. Moscow boasts European architecture. Yekaterinburg is a hub of heavy industry. Novosibirsk is Siberia's largest city and a growing science and culture center. Irkutsk stands out for its wooden architecture and cultural mix. Ulan-Ude features Buddhist temples, Russian Buryat heritage, and the world's largest Lenin head statue. Travelers will encounter local cultures, Tatars, Evenks, and others, with their own languages, cuisines, and traditions. Take the Trans-Mongolian route to explore Mongolia. In Ulaanbaatar, visit Sukbatar Square and the grand statue of Genghis Khan. The Trans-Siberian Railway passes through awe-inspiring natural landscapes, from the Ural Mountains to the shores of Lake Baikal, the world's deepest freshwater lake. Vast taiga forests stretch along the route. But this steel lifeline has an environmental impact. It disrupts wildlife habitats and migratory paths. For example, the Trans-Mongolian section blocked the routes of Mongolian gazelles. Fences were later installed to prevent livestock and wildlife collisions. Conservationists continue working to reduce the railway's ecological footprint and promote sustainable travel. In modern times, the Trans-Siberian has become essential for trade. It plays a key role in moving freight between China, Russia, and Europe, forming part of the Eurasian logistics network and complementing China's Belt and Road Initiative. At the same time, it remains a unique travel experience, catering to both budget travelers and those riding in the luxurious Golden Eagle train. While modernization has brought electrification and upgraded systems, the railway still faces the challenges of aging infrastructure, climate change, and shifting geopolitics. As Arctic shipping routes grow and new railways emerge across Siberia, the Trans-Siberian still holds its place as the most iconic. Competing lines like the Trans-Mongolian and Trans-Manchurian railways, or even Vietnam's Reunification Express, can't match its legendary status. Air travel may be faster, but it can't match the immersive, scenic experience of the Trans-Siberian. It remains a powerful symbol of Russia's vast geography, history, and ambition. More than transportation, the railway is a living story, connecting continents, cultures, and generations. To ride it is to see the past, present, and future unfold, one rail at a time. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing engineering stories.